What's up everyone, this is CyberKnight, and today we have a couple of duel replays for you guys, as well as the card list for the deck that's used in both of them. And this was sent in by a viewer named Jared. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, so I can't really give him a shout out. But anyway, he's using a deck called Convulsion God, which basically using like Convulsion of Nature, Gishki Diviner, and even the True Name to basically be able to summon the God cards when you want to. And even being able to go for Horahkty, as you guys are going to be able to see in these replays. And for this first one, he's going against someone that's using Wind Witch, Cosmos, and Artifacts, I guess, together. So yeah, let's go on ahead and get this replay going. A lot of stuff happens to on this, so I'll have to pause every so often to explain. It's kind of the usual kind of setup for the Cosmo player. I mean, they just kind of have a back row setup and summoning Tin Can. Then, of course, Convulsion of Nature, you can see it flips the card over, and basically what the strategy is that using Gishki Diviner, you would have to guess your top card. Well, with Convulsion of Nature, I mean, obviously, you don't have to guess the top card of your deck. You can see it's Pod Duality, so that's the reason that card works so well with Gishki Diviner, and that's kind of the whole theme of this deck, is that you're able to guess, and even guess your opponent's cards, you know, because you can obviously see what they're going to draw, and using cards like Mind Crush can, you know, hurt them, because you know what they have in their hand, basically, if you're paying attention. So that's what he keeps doing. Of course, True Name, being able to activate that, and everything too. He then, of course, is able to get another True Name, and then Horahkty in this one. Then, of course, like I said, he's going against the person that's using a Cosmo, Artifact, and Wind Witch build. Basically use, you know, one of his Artifact monsters to then get rid of Convulsion, which is kind of a big negative for him because, like I said, that's kind of the main card of the whole deck because it allows you to guess everything. Then, of course, just some usual shenanigans, really, by the other player on that. You're just seeing him summon some pretty strong monsters, doing some damage, getting rid of Diviner and everything. And then, of course, he goes for an XC summon of Pleiades, but then, of course, he activates Solemn Strike to get around it. So, Pleiades won't be lasting too long. There you go. Of course, he has a few back row cards, too. Nothing too crazy, though. I mean, he has Solemn Strike to kind of protect him, and then also Artifact Scythe, which really doesn't matter unless it's destroyed. Also, too, he activates Card Advance. This lets you get to change around the top 5 cards of your deck. In the replay, obviously, it doesn't show that. It just kind of goes by real quick, so I wanted to mention that really quick. Of course, Surface to get Gishki Diviner. And he goes for Deep Sea Diva, and of course, that gets negated and everything, too. He still has the True Name, though, so that doesn't really matter. Instantly able to get that Obelisk, then Deep Sea Diva using its effect for Diviner again, and then a Synchro Summon. And yeah, I mean, obviously, as you guys can see here, his opponent can't do anything about that. All they have is Artifact Scythe face down, so that's just GG with an Obelisk of Tormentor. Alright, next up on this replay, of course, he's using the same deck, and like I said, I pretty much explained everything. You guys know how this works pretty well now. And this time he's going against someone that's using Paleozoics, so let's go ahead and start this replay too. It's exactly the same strategy on this, so I shouldn't have to explain as much. Of course, Paleozoic guy just setting up that back row. Convulsion of Nature, True Name, I mean, you're seeing the usual stuff. Also, in this part of the replay, yeah, he gets summon Obelisk of True Name, but also in this part of the replay, I wanted to show the Archfiend's Oath. He also uses this card because, obviously, again, you declare the card name and then you activate the top card of your deck, and if it's declared, you add it to your hands. Obviously, with Convulsion of Nature, yeah. It's just like getting a free draw, basically, when you use that, so thought I would explain that real quick. And he even has some counter traps, too. Goes for Obelisk, attack but Wabaku, of course, no damage then for that, and he gets to basically be able to draw a Convulsion of Nature and set up a back row. And Obelisk goes away too. And yeah, like I said, he can kind of guess his opponent's card, so he can use Mind Crush and get rid of them. He knows what Paleozoic he's going to have, or whatever card really, so. Then also Psy Blocker, which, yeah, gets negated, and of course, yeah, Paleozoic shenanigans, really. I don't feel like I have to explain too much of that. Another Convulsion of Nature, so we can see the top cards again, the decks have been flipped over. And then, of course, more Paleozoic stuff going on. And also, Solemn Strike too, totally awesome. But, yeah, I mainly want to show this replay because what he's able to do on this. It really shows what this deck can do. It's kind of one of those that, it's just interesting. You know, it has a really good idea to it, and I wanted to show you guys how it works. Although your odds of getting it to work this good are, you know, it's one of those decks I feel like 1 out of every 5 duels or so, it's going to work. So, it's kind of one of those things. But, the way he's able to use it, I mean, he does it like it's nothing, so that's pretty cool. Pod Duality, you know, and getting that. Of course, you're just seeing the same effects activate, so really nothing to explain on this. Then, of course, he gets the Sphere mode for Winged Dragon Raw in his hands. This is where the other player really shouldn't summon anything. You don't want to have 3 monsters in this situation because, yeah, you don't want to let them be able to bring out Sphere mode, but I guess there really wasn't much else he could do, but honestly, he shouldn't have done that. Just not the best idea because obviously you know what's going to happen here in just a second on that. More shenanigans with his monsters too. You guys know what's going on that. Like I said, I pretty much explained that. And then, of course, Sphere Mode. So yeah, he was able to sacrifice 3 of his opponent's monsters, and then basically you give your opponent this monster. It's not strong yet or anything, but yeah, you get it back later on because you get a free Winged Dragon of Ra. So obviously, it works out really well for him here in just a second. You guys will see that, though. More frogs and Paleozoics going on. You guys can always pause if you guys want to check it out for yourself, too. So much stuff's going on, it's hard to pause for everything. Also summons a number 45, so you guys can see, using his effect, negating a Convulsion of Nature, and then even attacking. But yeah, you get back that Sphere Mode, and here comes the God cards, basically, is what's going to happen. So, first off, of course, gets rid of Sphere Mode using its effect to then summon the Winged Dragon of Ra. He uses Soul Charge, and oh, do we remember a couple other God cards that happen to be in the graveyard? So we have Slifer and Obelisk, and then you already know what's about to happen. Then you can get rid of all 3 of them to then go for Horahkty, the creator of light. So that is awesome. Obviously, too, with its effect, whenever you tribute Slifer, Obelisk, and Ra for it, you just automatically win the duel. It's like an Exodia that you actually summon, pretty much. So, yeah, a really cool replay. Like I said, I think the Paleozoic player might have misplayed a little here and there, but I really want to show this replay, showing you guys how this deck works, and even though it has a little bit of a gimmick to it, it's a lot of fun to use. I even tested it out myself, and it really is interesting, just the idea around it. So, let me go ahead and show you guys the deck list, too, so you guys can try it out for yourself. Alright, now we're to the deck list, so here we go. First off, we have Horahkty, as you guys can see, and of course, 1 of each of the God cards, and then of course 2 have Sphere Mode, using 1 of those, 2 of Gishki Beast, because he's using Diviner. I mean, obviously you can get it back with Gishki Beast. Also, Psyblocker, you guys saw this card working out very well in the replays, a really good choice on that too. Then, of course, Gishki Diviner, probably the main monster he uses in the deck, and the one that helps him out the most, because you're just able to basically draw cards using this, because you know what the top card is, you're able to just get it to your hand, so it's like getting an extra draw, really. And of course, Deep Sea Diva, because it works out with the water monsters like Diviner, as you guys saw in the first replay. And of course, 2 of Surface, as you guys saw, of course, works out really well with Gishki Diviner. And then 3 of True Name. I mean, this is just a way for you to get an instant God card, as you guys could see from that. And yeah, really awesome card. If you know what the top card is, I mean, it's really awesome. Then we have Card Advance. He's using 3 of those. It's just another way for you to figure out what your top cards are, so a good card for doing that. And like I said, in the replays, it doesn't really show you using it, just kind of goes away real quick, but you're able to sort your top 5 cards and put them in whatever order you want. So obviously, giving you an advantage on that. Then Soul Charge, just a way to get all your monsters back. 3 Pot of Dualities, again, being able to add a card to your hand and be able to rearrange the top cards of your deck. So that helps you with being able to guess them. After that, we have 3 of Archfiend's Oath. Like I said, it's basically kind of a way to draw, kind of like with Gishki Diviner, just in spell form, really. You have to pay some life points, too. Then we have 3 of Convulsion of Nature, which is probably the main card of the deck, because you're just able to straight up see the top card of your deck and the top card of your opponent's deck, too. So with that, of course, you can also use 3 Mind Crush, as he has here, which it's not a guess for you anymore. Again, you're just able to get rid of that, and all copies of it, too, that your opponent has. So really good combo on that. Of course, after that, he has a Quaking Mirror Force, using 3 of those, and then 2 of Solemn Strike. So just to kind of counter anything he may face. And then after that, we have the extra deck, which can come in handy. I mean, we didn't see him use it too much, just mainly in the first replay, but I mean, if you have the room for any extra deck cards, you might as well have them, right? So, first off, we have TG Hyper Librarian, then Magical Android, Armadeus, which, you know, you're just basically going for a lot of the level 5 Synchro, so Catastor and Samsara as well. And then afterwards, we have our different Xyz monsters. So we have Utopia the Lightning, of course, Utopia himself, then Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, number 101, 2 Castells, 1 of Steelswarm Roach, which is still a really great card, by the way. I feel like we might see this card a little bit more in the future. After that, we have Mech-Equip Engineer, then Wind Up Zen Mains, and then number 49, Fortune Tune. So, like I said, the extra deck doesn't matter as much on this, it's just that it can come in handy because obviously you have the room for extra deck cards, might as well use them. I mean, especially that on Xyz, and then with Deep Sea Diva, he has access to Synchro monsters. And yep, there you go. Those are the replays and the deck list for Convulsion God. But yeah, tell me what you guys think about this deck list. Do you like it? Did you enjoy the replays and stuff too? And a big thank you to Jared for sending this to me. Like I said, he's a viewer, and he sent in this replay, and I really enjoyed it. It was awesome. He even had to make some extra replays for us because the first couple he sent didn't work right. So it was really nice of him to make me some extra replays on that, and I gotta say, this deck is really creative and looks like a lot of fun to use. So definitely gonna try it out a little bit more in the future as well. But yeah, again, tell me what you guys think about this deck, as well as if you want to send in your own duel replays, whether it's, you know, something like this, or just a fun OTK, or using some new cards or something. Just send in your replay through my Facebook page, which is CyberKnight8610. You can just send it through a Facebook message, just send the replay file itself, and also you can send the deck list to the file itself for Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro or Dev Pro, and then maybe I'll make a video on it. Also include a link to your YouTube channel too if you want a shout out. But yeah, again, as always, thank you guys for watching. You guys are awesome. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed this duel replay and you want to see more of them in the future. And also subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Replays, openings, and other Yu-Gi-Oh! Related content. And I will catch you guys later. See ya.